Alyssa Marlowe was the internet's golden girl, glamorous, adored, untouchable. Kevin Hurst was a ghost in her shadow, obsessed, unnoticed, and waiting. When their paths finally collided, the world didn't just lose a star. It was the kind of place influencers dreamed of, complete with infinity pool, minimalist decor, and glass walls opening to sweeping views. She was the queen of her castleland. Her kingdom was the internet. But fame had a price, and Alyssa was paying it in ways her followers would never imagine. It witnessed a beheading so chilling, it blurred the line between fame and fatal obsession. The head was Alyssa's. It was identified by her distinctive platinum hair and a tiny birthmark on her temple. The rest of her body was not found for another 18 hours. It's buried under the foundation of a tool shed being renovated at the back of her property. Alyssa Marlowe was a name known in every corner of the internet. Conspiracy theories flooded social media. Some believed it was a publicity stunt. Others blamed jealous influencers. Others whispered about secret cults and internet assassins. But when he was brought in for questioning, detectives hit a dead end. In fact, he had been banned from multiple fan pages for his obsessive behavior. His username @TruLuVailsa had once flooded her comments with disturbing messages. "I'll never let you go. You belong to me, only I can protect you from them." Authorities had even issued him a warning in 2022, after he tried to sneak into a VIP event where Alyssa was appearing. Somehow, Kevin had disappeared after that, or so it was believed. Lyle had an ironclad alibi, was out of the country, attending a tech summit in Singapore, and video evidence confirmed his presence there during the time of the murder. Others hacked from her private archives. The most horrifying discovery was a full-scale replica of Alyssa's bedroom, recreated from photos and videos. No note, no signs of foul play, just silence. But his death left questions that would never be answered. Inside the replica, a mannequin wearing one of Alyssa's signature dresses lay in the bed. But the story of Alyssa Marlowe became a dark warning of obsession, of exposure, of a world where being seen means being hunted. Kevin had been living in her life, step by step, breath by breath. But when forensics swept Alyssa's house, they discovered something even more bizarre. A fingerprint match on a single door handle belonging to none other than a superfan named Kevin Hurst. But the truth was more disturbing than fiction. Alyssa had attempted to reach out to police weeks before her death, claiming someone was in her house but leaving no formal report. Her fear had grown, but she kept it private, perhaps terrified of seeming paranoid to an audience trained to see her as flawless. Their split had been sudden, messy, and filled with threats behind closed doors. The more she shone online, the darker her shadows grew. She had built a world where everyone knew her face, but no one truly knew her reality. Security footage from her own home revealed a masked figure entering through a blind spot in the camera system, at least 6 times over the course of 2 months. Motion detectors had been disabled. Her panic room had been accessed. Someone had been inside, watching her, walking among her things. But nothing prepared the world for what happened on July 12th. The footage had been emailed to an untraceable burner address just days before her death. Someone had been documenting her every move, building a trophy case of terror. Lyle, once a kingmaker in the influencer world, is now a pariah, after accusations of fraud, manipulation, and blackmail surfaced. Alyssa had testified anonymously in a civil suit, but those in the industry knew who had spoken out. At just 26 years old, she had built a global following from her glamorous lifestyle vlogs and perfectly curated Instagram posts. Millions watched her, every move, her morning routines, her skincare secrets, her luxurious travels. Her captions hinted at isolation, exhaustion, even fear. Comments flooded in, fans speculating, critics mocking, but Alyssa said nothing. But behind the flawless filters and sponsored smiles, something darker was growing. Something that would ultimately lead to her brutal and shocking end. Alyssa lived in Los Angeles, in a gated modern mansion perched high above Sunset Boulevard. Her content began to shift subtly in early 2024. Observers noted a colder edge to her eyes, a nervous energy in her voice, her once polished posts growing erratic. Unknown to her millions of followers, Alyssa had recently severed ties with her former manager, Lyle Crestwood, a man who had discovered her when she was just a college freshman with a ring light and a dream. Alyssa's inner circle had shrunk to nearly no one. She fired her staff. She canceled collaborations. She posted cryptic quotes about betrayal and freedom. At 6:43 a.m., a delivery driver called 911 after discovering a severed human head placed carefully at the edge of Alyssa's marble driveway. Positioned as if it were watching the gate, the city erupted. The media feasted. News vans camped outside her home. Police investigators quickly discovered evidence that Alyssa had been stalked for months. What investigators found next chilled even the most seasoned detectives. In a hidden subfolder on Alyssa's cloud drive, there were hours of recorded footage, night vision clips of her sleeping, showering, and pacing her home, recorded without her knowledge. Suspicion fell quickly on Lyle Crestwood. He had motive, history, and a public grudge. Kevin wasn't famous. When police raided Kevin's apartment in North Hollywood, they found the walls covered in photos of Alyssa, some clearly taken through long lenses. Despite the overwhelming evidence, Kevin was never tried. Just 2 days after his arrest, he was found dead in his holding cell in apparent suicide. In the aftermath, more information came to light. Fame had given her everything: wealth, admiration, power.
Oh.
But it also stripped her of privacy, safety, and peace.
Oh.
The headlines faded. The followers moved on. New influencers rose. She wasn't just killed. She was beheaded by fame, devoured by the very spotlight that made her.